Yo guys, welcome back to the Charlton Athletic Career Mode. We are in episode 2 today, and the primary objectives of today's episode are 1, to sign a player. I'm not entirely sure which position I am going to go for yet, but like I said in the previous episode, I am only planning to sign 1 player so that I keep it as true to real life in terms of like the squad roster and stuff like that as possible. The second thing we want to do is play our opening League One fixture of the season. I believe that is true to real life, and I believe that will be Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. So that is pretty much the most difficult game of the entire season for us. And so we are looking forward to doing that in this episode. Without further ado, let's get into it. So if you remember at the back end of the last episode, I did take you through the transfer hub where I had shortlisted a lot of players in various positions that I thought would be a good fit. Lots of young players, mainly young players actually. And now we have got this email through that interest has been shown in one of my favourite players that I was definitely looking to sign, which is Diego. I'm just going to call him Lainez or Lainez. Maybe I'll go with Lainez because it sounds a bit more Mexican. I believe he is a Mexican player and he is a winger. So we're going to go in and actually try and fight Sandhausen. I don't know what kind of team that is, but we're going to try and fight them for this guy's signature. So that will be our signing of the transfer window if we do manage to pull it off. Meanwhile, another transfer offer coming in for Naby Sarr, and we are going to have to go ahead and reject this, as we are going to have to do with many bids in this in the transfer window this summer. So here he is, Diego Lainez. He is a right midfielder that can play left midfield and central attacking midfield as well. He's 18 years old and 70 rated, so he could be an absolutely perfect signing for us. He fits everything that we need: versatility, width, and basically just a generally higher rated player. So let's go in and approach to buy this player. His club value at the moment is 2.6 million, so we might fall a bit short here, but we'll try it nonetheless. So we are going to go straight in with a transfer fee. I think considering that he's a young player, we're probably going to have to give a pretty good bid here. So a good starting point will be just under his current market value. I'm going to go for 2.5 million and see what their manager says about that. They actually say that they will accept the transfer fee straight away and they want to receive 2%, an absolutely tiny percentage of the transfer fee if we sell him in the future. Do you know what? I'm absolutely happy with that, except I have no qualms with that whatsoever. 2% is not really going to affect us, but he is a really great prospect. Only £2.5 million for a 70 rated 18-year-old winger. I'm really pleased about that, and he will go straight in and replace Mark Marshall at right midfield in the starting 11. But first of all, we are going to have to negotiate this guy's contract, make sure he wants to come to the club, and make sure he's asking for a sensible wage packet. So let's skip this. He basically wants to start the negotiations. His agent's there, and we know what he wants to be. He wants to be a crucial player, of course. Let's just see if we can make him important. I doubt he'll accept it. No, he does want to be crucial. That's fine. We'll accept that. We'll try and get him on a 5-year deal here, see what he says about that. And he wants to sign a 3-year deal, so normally you can go back in the middle of your offer and go for a 4-year deal, and yes, that is correct. It remains the case in FIFA 19, and a 4-year contract works for him. No release clause. We're very fine with that. We'll accept that as well. And now for his salary. So he's currently on 12.5 thousand. Now there have been scenarios in the past where I've offered the same wages and they've been offended at the fact that I have offered them such a dismal amount of money. So I'm going to go to 13 grand and a signing on bonus of 100 grand and just see what they say to that. They actually just straight up say that's a fair offer. My client is happy with that. So you know what? That's fine. We've signed a really good, versatile young Mexican player there. So Diego Lainez, I don't know. I'm going to actually look up how to pronounce his name after this episode so that I do get it right in future episodes, because I've not actually heard of him in real life. But Diego Lainez, we're going with Lainez for now. Get in the club. So let's go in here and put him at right midfield straight away. Marshall will drop to the bench / the reserves. Of course, he will still get game time. We've got a small squad here, so we are going to have to rely on rotation with all our cup fixtures, with 46 league games, and that is how we're looking at the moment. Let's have a look at this guy then, what his key attributes are. He's got 93 balance and 81 sprint speed, so he's quick. 79 acceleration. He could be quicker, but he's quick. He's got naturally good dribbling stats. Passing stats could do with a bit of work. Let's see what his finishing's like. It's 60, so it's not bad, but he can definitely improve on certain stats. He's only got 3-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves, so nothing amazing there. but he's definitely a usable player and he could be one of the stars of the future for Charlton. So I just want to make a quick shout out to some of the comments that I received on episode 1 of the Charlton career mode. So first of all, Ethan Livermore has suggested putting Josh Morris and Marcus Maddison on the shortlist, both wingers to sign and look at in the future potentially, so fair play Ethan, I will do that very shortly. Second comment is from Bill Demetriou, who says, could you do a goal of the month and a player of the month? I definitely could. I think that's a really good idea and I will definitely try and do that going forward. And another comment from Bill that says experiment with a 3 at the back. So I will bear that in mind. I may or may not do that, but I might do it for like a cup game if I do, see how we perform. But for now, I am going to stick with the formation that I selected in the last episode, as well as the 4-3-3 that I also talked about in the last episode. So let's move on now and try and get all the way to our first game of the season against Sunderland. And one thing I am noticing here, guys, is that Yao and Hackett Fairchild, both of which are on the loan list for me, have had loads of bids come in for them, but none of them have actually materialised. I don't know if that's then saying you need to go and negotiate the loan, like, intricacies or something. I'm not sure. But for now, it is really, really difficult to actually get these players on loan. But as you can see here, it's coming up to Saturday, the 4th of August. This will be our first game, our first big test. And like I said, one of the biggest tests of the season against Sunderland. So we're going to go straight in and play this match. Now, I am not one who performs too well when there's a kit clash going on FIFA. So I am unfortunately going to have to do the away kit of Sunderland despite them being at home, and the away kit as well of Charlton, because at least that way I have a away kit which makes sense for Charlton, and there's that white and black top contrast. So let's get into this match and see how we do. So here we go, a player debut then for Diego Lainez. 2.5 million, like I said, a bargain, and he does get his first start of the season in the first game of the season for Charlton on that right flank. Sunderland line up like this then. McLaughlin in goal. They do have Matthews, Ozturk, Baldwin and Oviedo at the back. Catamol captains the side with Didier and Dong in the middle, who I believe actually in real life has just been released by Sunderland. Brendan Gooch, Aidan McGeady, Watmore, I think his name's Duncan Watmore, and Charlie Wyke, I think is that number 9 for Sunderland up front, which is a very, very, very strong side for League One, but ours is just as strong, if not stronger. For us, Dylan Phillips starts in goal. Chris Solly, Patrick Bauer, Jason Pearce and Lewis Page make up the back 4. Diego Lainez gets his first start on the right-hand side. Forster-Caskey captains the side with Joe Aribo in central midfield. Tariq Fosu is on the left with Carlon Grant and Lyle Taylor, the dream striking partnership up top, leading the line for Charlton. There's a little huddle here, a team talk, trying to get pumped, trying to get into the right spirit, into the right mood for this first game of the season. Charlton versus Sunderland, let's go. Here we go with Carlon Grant. He's a very, very pacey player, which I'm noticing is looking very useful. Poor back heel though. From the keeper then, in the 10th minute of the game, we are going to work it out. Chris Solly gives the ball away to Aidan McGeady, not a player who you want to give possession to. He knocks it back into Wyke. Wyke to Ndong, Ndong to Catamol, and Wyke is going to take a shot and it goes wide, and Sunderland look like they can string a fair few passes together when they get going. Here comes Joe Aribo, knocks it to Carlon Grant. He's going to try and find a return. Joe Aribo dancing through the midfield. I love to say that line. Here comes Lyle Taylor with the shot, and that is miles and miles wide. Dylan Phillips. That's a nice save from Dylan Phillips. Can we get it away? We can. It's actually going to fall to Lainez here. Lainez is going to take it inside. There's a lot of space over here if he can find this pass. Beautifully found Tariq Fosu. And it's going to be a ball over to not the ideal position, but we can still make something of this. So we're going to put the ball in. We've still got the ball. It's going to be into Lyle Taylor for his first goal of the season. He hits the post. And that was so close from Lyle Taylor. Actually, I've got his hair reasonably accurate here, but it's going to be changed to pink soon. Then it'll be inaccurate. But that was a decent chance from Lyle Taylor. Surprised he didn't put that in and have the net bulging and ripple in there. But unfortunately, it does remain 0-0. Nice from Tariq Fosu. We've lost the ball though with Joe Aribo. It's Duncan Watmore. Watmore finds a pass, and it's going to be a great save from Dylan Phillips. Not sure who got the snapshot off there, but it was a good save nonetheless. Look at this. Just fed him through, and bang. Dylan Phillips had to be very alert. Left a little bit too much space at his near post for my liking, but did manage to get 2 firm hands behind it. Here comes Brendan Gooch. Gives the ball away to Bauer, who gives it back to Gooch, and Watmore gets a shot on goal, and it has gone in the back of the net. I'm sure that was offside, but apparently not. The goal stands, and it is a goal from Wyke up front in the 29th minute for Sunderland. Very unfortunate. Lots of rebounds there, and eventually just stabbed into the net by Wyke, and that is what a clinical number 9 does for you. Look at this. Just gave the ball away, Bauer, sloppily there. Loads of space in the middle, off the post, and what Lyle Taylor failed to do in just a few minutes ago, really. Wyke does manage to do for Sunderland. In it goes 1-0 to the league favourites. So here's Joe Aribo, very, very nice to dribble with. Finds a ball over here to Tariq Fosu. Fosu's just going to sprint towards goal, wait for his runners. He has kind of one in Taylor. Taylor's going to feed it to somebody in a more appropriate position. Ball comes in, shot comes in, and Didier Ndong gets himself in the way. And unfortunately, Jake Forster-Caskey, the captain, could not get that past Didier Ndong. Blocked it with his thigh. We have a corner though. Corner's going to come in now. Let's put this into a dangerous area. It's not bad. He actually does win the header and poke towards goal from, I believe that is Joe Aribo, and it doesn't get past the keeper in the end. They've got the ball with Brendan Gooch here, and Dylan Phillips makes another save at his near post. That came from not a lot really, just to pass through to Gooch, who was in a bit of space, and a yellow card there for Joe Aribo on the stroke of half-time. And once this corner comes in, hopefully we don't concede from it, and then it will be half-time, and we can regroup and look towards changing a formation in the 60th minute around about then. We do get this ball away, a volley comes in, Dylan Phillips makes another save. Once this goes up the pitch then, it will be half-time surely, and there goes the half-time whistle. 1-0 to Sunderland, really, really difficult game. Haven't had too many clear sights of goal, and had that one chance that was all important with Lyle Taylor, and he just hit the post. Wyke, the difference between the two sides at the moment. Aribo, who is on a yellow card, tries to carry the ball and make some sort of opening. Doesn't find anything special. Solly though, up to Forster-Caskey, who finds a nice ball through to Colin Grant. Colin Grant gets dispossessed straight away by Lee Cattermole, and Sunderland's quality at the moment really showing in the defensive thirds of the game. They are going to make a substitution as Max Power comes on for Lee Cattermole. So Lee Cattermole's experience and just class on a football pitch is not going to last any longer as Max Power comes on. Jake Forster-Caskey to Aribo inside. Fosu wants it back. Who's going to be there? It's going to be Lyle Taylor, and again, he puts the ball over the bar. He made a good run there and just didn't get a clean connection on it. Nice little find from Tariq Fosu, and just no connection on the volley. Taylor finds Grant. Loads of space back for Taylor if we can find him, and we do find him. It's Lyle Taylor again. Penalty? No, it was apparently clean, but he has hurt himself there, and let's hope Lyle Taylor is now for too long. Get straight back up. That is nice to see. That was a bit weird, the animation, but we do now have to defend and attack. Brendan Gooch comes forward. Duncan Watmore gives it back to Brendan Gooch. This is dangerous. McGeady out wide to Oviedo, and it works all the way up to Wyke, who puts a nice dangerous ball in there. We can't get it away, and it's in the back of the net. Really, really poor defensive clearance there. And we are 2-0 down now to Sunderland. It is the substitute Power who gets the second goal for Sunderland, and this is not how we wanted to start life out in League One. But of course this is, like I said, the best opposition we're going to come up against, and we are at the Stadium of Light as well, on their turf. And we have played okay at times, just not been able to stick the ball in the back of the net. So let's see if we can get anything else from this game. I hope we can, but there is time definitely running out. Nice run there from, I believe this is Igor Vettekeli. It is. He's going to come inside. He's in the box now, Vettekeli. He takes the shot. Great save from McLaughlin. We've been really close with shots like that, chances like that, but unfortunately, again, just can't beat the keeper. Here comes Lainez. Lainez is going to wait for a run. Vettekeli, lots of pace to get past his man. Vettekeli now, just the goalkeeper between him and 2-1. He's going to pass it, and it surely is going to go in the net. It doesn't, though. Vettekeli did the right thing there by squaring it, as he had lots of players in his way, and Lyle Taylor just couldn't get the touch on it, and now we have to defend another chance from Sunderland. Maybe we'll have one more chance here. It's Vettekeli who finds Lyle Taylor. Let's wait for our runners. And that is a great ball. I believe this is Lainez. It is Lainez, and a lovely tackle from Baldwin. Not sure how he kept up with him there, but that is going to be the last action of this game. And unfortunately, we have lost at the Stadium of Light to the league favourite Sunderland, and they are jubilant with that victory over Charlton. It was 2-1 in real life. We actually scored the first goal. I think it was a Lyle Taylor penalty. But unfortunately, on this game, we have done one worse and not actually scored, although we had plenty of chances to do so. So unfortunate, but we are going to rue the opportunity to take some points off of Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Let's see how the rest of our season goes, though. A pretty balanced game then. We had 9 shots, 4 on target, and Sunderland had 11 shots with 7 on target, just as the highlights started playing again there. We also had more possession than them at their place, so there are definitely encouraging signs to see, and if we just have a look there, everybody's rating, you can see we didn't actually perform horrifically. So the sheer amount of loan move rejections from Hackett Fairchild and Yao is astonishing. There's so so many clubs that have come in to loan these players, and there's just nothing happening. There's just no movement on that actually materialising with any club. As you can see, our form, despite that 2-0 loss, a lot of upwards arrows there, which means we are performing very well. We do have a game now against Shrewsbury, so let's get into that one. So we are actually going to sim this one. We're going to sim this game against Shrewsbury because we are at home, and I believe that it's easier to get a good result when you're drawn at home. So hopefully we can bounce back from that 2-0 defeat at Sunderland and get 3 points here. And though puts them 1-0 up from the penalty spot in the 7th minute. Jason Pearce is booked as well. We do equalise through Lyle Taylor, so that is Charlton off the mark and Lyle Taylor off the mark for the season. Grant gets another one. We are 2-1 up now. Doherty comes on for Loft. Vettelli makes his way onto the field for Fosu, and Jason Pearce actually gets a second yellow card, which is probably, actually I was going to say it's going to make it more difficult, but Lainez does get a third goal for Charlton, and we do defeat Shrewsbury 3-1 at the Valley to bounce back from that loss. So that's good signs. So as suggested by Ethan Livermore, we are going to have a look at the players whose contracts are expiring. So Cullen, Bielik, Steer and Ward, obviously we don't have to worry about them because they're all loan players. Vettelli, Maskell, Clark and Lapsley, however, we do want to tie up deals with them, so I will look to do that right now. And bosh, just like that, you can see the only players who have any less than a year on their deals now are all the loan players. So we can have a look up here. We did manage to sign Billy Clark on a 2-year extension. We did also manage to sign Lapsley on a 3-year, and I can't remember who the other ones were now, but we definitely did sign. It was Vettelli with a 4-year contract, and I believe Maskell as well with a 5-year contract. Those were the 4 that we were looking at. So that is done and dusted. We don't have to worry about contract expiries this season anymore. And so our first Carabao Cup fixture of the year will be the last game of this episode that we are going to have a look at and sim. I have rotated the squad a little bit. I've put Steer, Bielik in. I've also put in Pratley and Billy Clark and Vettelli as well. Other than that though, it's unchanged, so I think there's about 4 or 5 changes there, and let's see how we can fare against a sort of top of the championship kind of team. Unfortunately, in the 2nd minute, Nathan Dyer does grab a goal for Swansea, but we may be able to get ourselves back into this one. Bauer's been booked as well in the same minute, and going in towards half-time now, Mackay picks up a yellow card, Narsing comes on, Sarr comes on, Routledge comes on, and hopefully we can at least get this to be a draw. Solly gets a bad injury there. Deke still comes on for him. Fosu does equalise for us. Are we going to get a win and we actually lose that one on penalties? That's the 2nd game we've lost on penalties in this career mode. First in the pre-season tournament and now in the Carabao Cup against Swansea. But that's fine. One less game for our small squad to worry about. One less competition rather. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. So in the league, we've played 2 games and we are currently sitting in 10th position. Sunderland actually lost their other game away from home. I'm not sure who they played, but as you can see, Barnsley leading the way. Wycombe Wanderers and Luton are the only other 2 teams with perfect records. Coventry, Scunthorpe and Accrington make up the rest of the playoff positions. There we are between Fleetwood and Sunderland, but it's going to be very interesting to see how the remaining 44 games of this league campaign go for Charlton Athletic. So make sure you join me in the next one to see how we do against, who's this coming up? I don't know who we're playing. I can't make out what that badge is, but let's see how we do against them nonetheless. Thank you very much for joining me for today's episode of the Charlton Career Mode. Make sure you leave a like on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody, and sweet.